be afraid of love and what it might do. But goddamn, you got me in love again. You got me in love again.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, with my beautiful bearded husband, Josh, who's back in the studio.
It's good to be back.
Oh, I love Dua Lipa. She's so... Josh is looking her up. He has no idea who she is. She is amazingly talented young woman. Beautiful voice.
For me, it doesn't get any better than When a Man Loves a Woman. Is that...
Oh, my God. Why are you here? No. No. Wait. Who sang that one? That was Percy Sledge.
Was it?
Hold on. We're going to look this up. When a Man This is a classic. Yeah, I think it was it who sang this? Who made this famous?
I was thinking Michael Bolton.
Percy Sledge. No. Michael Bolton did it too. Percy Sledge was the OG. Listen to this. Mr. Percy Sledge. Oh, he was good. Let's show people.
Show the people.
Show the people. There it is.
Hello, somebody. Took a turn. I didn't expect this to happen.
He's amazing. He made that song.
Mm-hmm.
He made that song really good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. Appreciate y'all being here this morning and supporting the stream. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook before they ban us for whatever fucking reason. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, hopefully y'all are having a wonderful day. It's Friday today. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Last day of the week, or last day of the work week. We got a wonderful, spicy weekend coming up for some of us. Got a friend flying in, so that's going to be fun. I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. A lot of news to cover today, as per the norm. And we're gonna point out some funny things that we see in the press and some interesting developments in our judicial system that apparently, for so many have said that has failed us, yet... I mean, my God. So, fuck it, we're just getting right into it. We're talking about Jussie Smollett, the black homosexual man that perpetrated his own hate crime because America is so racist that minorities have to fake the oppression because they are so not oppressed.
I know.
I guess that's how it works these days. But we're going to get into that. But first, before we get there, let's go this day in history. This day in history, the first Nobel Prizes are awarded in Stockholm, Sweden, in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace on December 10th, 1901. The ceremony came on the 5th anniversary of the death of Alfred Nobel, the Swedish inventor of dynamite and other high explosives. I had no idea. I had no idea about that. So you're telling me a dude that created dynamite... Okay, whatever. In his will, Nobel directed that the bulk of his vast fortune be placed in a fund in which the interest would be annually distributed in the form of prizes to those who during the preceding year shall have conferred the greatest benefit on mankind. Although Nobel offered no public reason for his creation of the prizes, it is widely believed that he did so out of moral regret over the increasingly lethal uses of his inventions in war.
Yeah, he didn't want to be known as a death guy, I guess.
You kind of created dynamite.
Yeah.
What did you expect was going to happen with that?
So,
do you not know how mankind is?
He's like, you know what? Let me make up for that. I don't want my legacy to be known as the guy who blew up a bunch of people.
Well,
so
it worked
let me
because
do
neither of us knew
the Nobel
who the
Prize.
We didn't know who the fuck this guy was or what he did. So I get it.
I know his
sense.
award doesn't mean anything.
No, not anymore. Yeah. When you hand this award out to people like Barack Obama, who's drone striking Syria for the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. Not because he's black or anything. Oops, I said it. Shit. God. Now we're racist. No, I had no. When you invent dynamite, and it's a 1901. Come on, you have to kind of have a gist of how humankind is at this point. That's like the first inventor of photography. You think in his mind he did not automatically jump to, was like, okay, nudity's coming.
Yeah, pornography.
Yeah, porn. Yeah, come on.
Immediately.
That's the first thing I would have been like, is like, oh, look, I just created this thing that replicates the feeling of some soft tissue. Vagina. Porn. We're doing that. Come on. You can't be that stupid. So, anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Yesterday, Sir Jussie Smollett was found guilty out of 5 of 6 charges levied against him. And the BLM still has this dude's back. It's a fucking joke. Now, experts are saying that he could face up to 3 years in prison, but experts are saying that this guy's going to walk with probation. And you know what's going to happen. Number 1, he's black. Number 2, he's gay. Number 3, he's a liberal. I mean, Jesus. I mean, if
they try to get him out of it to start off with.
Well, we're going to get to that. We're talking about that prosecutor. We're getting back to that because I want to make a little link here that normally you don't really hear from white people. And it's there. It's really there. But, you know, all Jussie Smollett had to be at this point was trans, and he's checked literally every intersectional box. And then I'm surprised I wouldn't give him the Nobel Peace Prize, you know, just because he's like, oh my God, he's so brave. He's black, gay, homosexual, and trans. Like, oh my God, this guy's like paving the way. Reject progressivism, ladies and gentlemen. Reject it. All right, let's get into this. And this screams a lot here. So the headline reading, this is from MSN. Jussie Smollett found guilty of filing false police report for hoax attack. After just 10 hours of deliberation, a Chicago jury has found actor Jussie Smollett guilty on 5 of 6 counts for filing a false police report related to the hoax racist attack that he suffered at the hands of 2 men in January 2019. The Empire actor alleged that he was attacked, doused with an unknown liquid. I bet he was. I bet he gets doused with lots of unknown liquids. Had a noose placed around his neck and called racist and homophobic slurs by 2 men late at night on Chicago street. He has maintained it was not orchestrated by himself. He did not show any reaction as the verdict was read. I mean, come on, dude. Even Helen Keller could have seen that one coming. Like,
I'm surprised it took 10 hours. It's just
that's what I'm thinking. Like, really? It's
like 5 minutes.
It's like open and shut.
Here's the video of the 2 guys.
Here's the check that you wrote, made out for $3,500 to them. I mean, there's their testimony. I mean,
here's the video of them getting the supplies from the store.
I mean, come on, guys. It's just ridiculous. I mean, come on. He did not show any reaction to verdicts were read. He could face up to 3 years in prison, as well likely not face nearly so such a stiff a sentence. He should face some very stiff stuff, though, but not in the prison system. During my closing argument, I told the jury that I thought the evidence was overwhelming. That verdict was a resounding message by the jury that Mr. Smollett did exactly what he said he did, Special Prosecutor Dan Webb told reporters after the verdict. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is leftism. This is progressivism. This is going to be a show today that I don't think you're really going to like too much because we're going to point out just how insane the left has become, how out of touch with reality, how willfully ignorant they remain towards traditionalism, the basic concepts of science, and how they continue to delve further down the rabbit hole of insanity for the sake of basically just being different and progressive. And it's led to, well, we're seeing right now, there are crime surges all throughout major cities in America today.
It's scary.
It's getting bad. There was an actual, the LAPD union representative posted a video, you can go look this up, where he's telling people, do not come to LA. You can let me pull this up. I want y'all to listen to this. This is them legit saying this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is. We can't. Here's the article. I'll pull it up for you guys. Let me see if y'all can listen to it. Actually, listen to the clip. Yeah, here we go.
Southern California is enduring a crime wave, one that's even prompted the head of LAPD Officers Union to warn tourists to stay away. But the LA police chief says the situation is not out of control. KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Wade is live in Hollywood with the latest. Tom?
Hi there, Pat. Well, when you talk to people out here on Hollywood Boulevard, those who are visiting and those who live in the area, you can tell they are very aware of the declining security situation here. But still, it was stunning to hear one of the leaders of the LAPD Officers Union talk about how they can't keep tourists safe.
My message to anybody considering coming to Los Angeles, especially during the holiday season, is don't.
A sobering and somewhat terrifying statement from the LA Police Protective League. The union representing...
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this up. Like, this dude is like legit saying, if you're thinking about coming to LA, don't.
God, man.
So think about how difficult that has to be for him.
I was half expecting that reporter to be mugged while he was giving his report. Right?
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But this is what they're facing now. And if you think it's bad in LA, go to Chicago.
Oh God.
There was a recent tweet, or I shouldn't say recent, excuse me. Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago.
How is that lady
bro,
still
fucking
mayor.
Beetlejuice. I have no fucking clue.
Like, who keeps saying her name 3 times?
She made a tweet to the Jussie Smollett thing. Okay, this is when Jussie Smollett first came out about the fake hate crime. So let me tell you this first. She comes out and honestly tries to blame Chicago residents and business owners for not chaining things down, not ensuring they have adequate cameras or enough security. She legit says this. You can go look it up. The mayor of Chicago tells businesses they should be doing more to ensure the safety and security of their items in their shops. How dare you? And this is what she tweeted when Jussie Smollett, when that incident happened. She tweeted, "My thoughts and prayers," like that means anything from you little fucking heathen, hellbound shithead.
Prayers to who?
Prayers to exactly, Satan. "My thoughts and prayers are with Jussie Smollett. Everyone deserves to live safely as their true, authentic self in this city. As mayor, I will make sure that, regardless of the victim's stature, hate crimes and incidents and complaints are fully investigated." Now, what that tells me is what you said then versus what you're saying now is you are going to pander to black homosexuals. You give no care to the local economy that, guess what, is also comprised of black homosexual people, but instead you want to favor optics on hate crimes to showcase how woke and progressive you are to be accepted by the majority of the blue fucking nitwits in your city. The blue nitwits in your city are destroying your city, and you're doing nothing about it. So you want to sit there and you want to preach to business owners that are keeping your city afloat, that pay the most in taxes, and essentially saying, fuck you, but instead you want to investigate hate crimes. We are fully...
Yeah, fake crimes.
Fake crimes. This is where we're at. You want to talk about racism in America? Let's look at what some of these black leaders are doing towards white people. Let's look at that. Oh, we can't have that conversation, though, because if we do, you're inherently racist. That's not true at all. Case in point, I don't know if you know this, Kyle Rittenhouse made 2 posts on Instagram, had over 100,000 followers. He got banned. They pulled his account. Made no violation to terms of services. None. I looked at the posts. I remember seeing it. None. Jussie Smollett was found guilty. His Instagram is still up. Mm-hmm. Kyle Rittenhouse was found innocent. His Instagram was taken down. Tell me why, ladies and gentlemen. The Kyle Rittenhouse incident was made racial by the BLM. Wasn't made racist by anybody else but the fucking BLM.
Democrats.
Democrats in general. They made it a racist issue because that's all they have to go off of. So why, oh please why, tell me, why was Kyle Rittenhouse pulled down and yet Jussie Smollett, a homosexual black man, is still got his social media account? Please explain that to me.
Privilege.
Is it by virtue of black privilege? Therefore it does exist. Which, realistically, is just racism. And it's not. There's no such thing as reverse racism. Racism is racism is racism. There is no such thing as reverse. Say, for example, I do something mean to a black person, and I say I hate black people, and that black person does the same thing. You say I hate white people. I didn't create reverse racism. It's just racism. Mm-hmm. Both of them are unjustified, but you get where I'm going with this. So when somebody says reverse racism, there's no such thing. It's just racism. Now, with that being said, you want to look at this. CNN Don Lemon, who Smollett testified, said Lemon was basically telling Smollett the police didn't believe him. This guy was feeding him information as a journalist. Why is this guy not being crucified right now? If that had been a white straight guy, you would be screaming for his blood right now. Progressives are so scared to touch black or minority people, or especially if they're homosexual. This is not equality that we're living in right now, ladies and gentlemen. But the most beautiful thing about it is you morons, you're shooting yourselves in the foot left and right, and we're just watching you fall. You're doing it on your own through no help from us. You stage these fake hate crimes, you get caught, and then your own side sees the extremists within your movement just continue to suckle at the teats of equality and progressivism and ignore your disgusting human behavior. This is why the DNC is cancer. You are sinking into immorality, degeneracy. You don't understand what sex is, that there's a boy and a girl. You're pushing for progressive ideologies that are destroying your culture. And I do want to dedicate a podcast to the talks about traditionalism versus progressivism and how I'm not in favor of all traditionalism and I'm not in favor of a lot of progressivism. But there is a happy medium in there in between. But the left is basically espousing that traditionalism is cancer, and let's go full-blown progressivism to the point where we want to push for equality across the board. And I'm not against that, but in a sense of equality by denying basic facts about men and women. This is where we're at. But let's go back. CNN's Lemon says Jussie Smollett is a liar. Why is Don Lemon condemning this guy when Don Lemon was complicit and trying to get Smollett off the hook by feeding him information, by using journalistic resources, and then giving that information to Smollett? How is he not being charged? Oh. Well, I mean, we know why, right? I mean, we know why. Is it okay if a white guy says this? Is it okay? I thought we had freedom of speech in this country, ladies and gentlemen. Weird. CNN anchor Don Lemon said Thursday on a show, Don Lemon Tonight, that his friend Jussie Smollett was a liar after the actor was found guilty of 5 of 6 counts of felony disorderly conduct for filing a false police report. Lemon said, so here is the breaking news. A jury in Chicago finding actor Jussie Smollett guilty of 5 of 6 counts of lying to police when he falsely claimed to be the victim of a racist anti-gay hate attack. A judge will decide if he'll face time behind bars or get probation. When asked for his reaction to the verdict, legal analyst Joey Jackson said, it is the proper results when you look at the case, the circumstances, everything else. Okay, so here's where I stand on this. When it comes to fake accusations of rape, shit like that, when you get proven to make a fake accusation, you should serve the same amount of time that the person who actually committed or falsely committed the crime would have served. So say, for example, if Josh accuses me of a rape crime that never happened and it's discovered he made that fake accusation, whatever they would have charged me with as far as raping another person, he should serve that time.
That's how it should be.
That's 100% how it should be.
Yep.
Here's the thing. The judicial system by the way, I forgot to tell you this. When this is discussing the judicial system that apparently is rigged against minorities, you do realize that the person that set the Christmas tree on fire, and I think it was the Foxx Christmas tree, the Fox News one, he was released without bail. Arson in the city, which, by the way, could have easily spread to other areas.
Oh, yeah.
It could have injured a lot of people.
It's a giant piece of Christmas shit. Tree.
Oh, and guess what? He's a minority. Weird. So this system that supposedly is rigged is actually encouraging more criminal behavior. That's so odd to me. But, for those out there that want to say the system is inherently racist because, like the BLM said, Jussie Smollett's being put on. Oh, I got to do the BLM fist. Black people.
Notice the NAACP hasn't put out any statements either.
Wonder why, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe because your own are making you look fucking stupid.
And they blame Donald Trump for
100%. 100%. But just the BLM talked about that Jussie Smollett is on trial by a white supremacist system.
You want to know how these organizations are full of shit?
No.
By these statements right here.
Well,
yeah, you're going to come out and say we're beyond troubled to hear the recent racist, homophobic fueled attack.
And
then
fuel the voter base, baby.
Living While Black incident and other reported crimes. President Donald J. Trump, xenophobic rhetoric and racist policies. This rhetoric continues to bleed in our everyday lives.
Trump wants to close the border with China. He's a xenophobe.
Let me go to their,
does it. He's
let me go to their Twitter account.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Nothing.
Nothing.
COVID.
Yeah, I can touch
white
it.
people. That's what.
White man's the devil.
That's what it says.
White man's the devil.
It says. The church says to my white brothers and sisters, don't be more white than right.
Oh God.
God has his minutes. Like, if that shit isn't racist,
that's
I don't know what is.
Oh yeah, I was watching a clip shared from Gavin McInnes back in the day where he's debating this white fucking liberal.
I love Gavin McInnes, man.
I do agree with a lot of the shit that he says. He's funny as fuck.
He's funny as fuck.
He's debating this just ugly white unfuckable liberal chick. And she's like saying, the system is bad. White people should take responsibility for the white supremacy system they created. Is like, in comparison to what? She goes, well, there's better places over in Europe. It's like where it's more white. And she goes, well, he's like, no, it's more white over here. So what are you saying? And it's like, oh, I love this. And it's not saying that white people are better, but it's like, if you want to frame your argument with that kind of fucking foundation, you're going to lose. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's European countries that are better because they have these socialist programs. They pay a shitload more in taxes. Yeah. And by the way, we're not going to get into that because it's a whole different ball game there. But the point still stands is that these liberal progressives are so backwards in their thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to reject all progressivism. Yep. It's time to reject it. Traditionalism has got to come back with a more modern approach, and not in the sense of like sexism, but in a sense of like, if you really think about it, there was a trans swimmer that just broke all kinds of records. How insulting to women is that you are devaluing what they represent in their own movement or in their own sphere by taking a man and putting him into that realm? Well, oh my God, they're on hormone block. Well, then why is he smashing all these fucking records? Why is that Switzerland man that competed in the women's smashing all these records? And yet they've been on these beta blockers. They've been on all, they're not beta, the fucking hormone blockers. And yet they're still smashing all these records. You cannot sit there and tell me that there is not a difference in our bone structure, our muscular compound makeup, all this stuff. Any personal trainer will tell you when even if you take these testosterone, all this shit, you still retain a lot of the masculine capabilities that you once had. It's been proven by these trans women that are once men coming in there and destroying these previously female-held records. But no, you progressives don't want to acknowledge that because if you do, oh, suddenly I'm transphobic. Well, maybe we should start viewing transphobia as for what it is, or transgenderism for what it is, a mental disorder, and stop praising it. That's where we're at now. Now, here's the thing. You do what you want. I don't fucking care. It's a free country. But don't sit there and expect me to bend the knee to this woke ideology and say that, oh, no, they should be accepted as, as actual women. No, they're not. You are not a woman. If you chop off your dick, you're not a woman. Your chromosomes say completely different. And no matter of crying or screaming at the sky, vagina pink hat wearing bullshit that you can push is going to change that fact. Guess what? Facts exist in this world. You either conform to them or they will break you. And guess what? People like me will still remain for years to come to remind you every fucking day that you believe in insanity. And this is what happens as a result. Now you have Snapchat doing these fucking things now for the sexualization of children. It's there. You can go look it up. That Devin Almighty, that little fucking freak kid, this kid's going to commit suicide before he hits his fucking 30s. I guarantee it.
Devin Almighty,
whatever this fucking kid is, this nut job that his
Desmond
parents
is amazing.
Desmond is amazing. His parents should be locked the fuck up.
Yeah,
it's disgusting how they sexualize children.
That kid looks like he's on some sort of
he's got to be
sedatives.
Oh, he talked about in one interview he was on drugs.
Yeah.
They were giving him some kind of drug to help him calm the fuck down. These parents are utilizing their children
kids
to
are
serve
supposed
as
to be
tokens.
hyper. They're kids.
They're kids.
Like,
oh, yeah,
you
absolutely.
mean your child is
Yeah.
has a short attention span?
Weird.
Can't sit still?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like a child.
It's nuts. This is nuts. We are living in the age of insanity. Now, here's how you combat it. Stand up to these fucking crazy motherfuckers and call them out on their bullshit. And don't you dare back down. I'm not saying this to be hateful, but ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a time now where you cannot be quiet anymore. Don't be afraid of losing friends. This country is being lost to progressive insanity, and it needs to be restored. The insane need to be labeled mentally insane and helped, not embraced and hailed up as heroes. They're not. You are not.
Now, do you think when
I'm on one today. My dick is so hard right now.
This transsexual was on the diving board getting ready to
Transgender.
jump. The transgender.
Yeah. Transsexual, isn't that where they dress? Isn't that? Yeah, transsexual
Whatever.
is where they dress as the opposite sex.
Do you think when the other divers or swimmers looked over and saw the bulge? And
It's post-op or pre-op, I don't know. But there was one of
were they
the
like they looked down and saw his penis and balls.
Wait a
like,
minute.
Great.
Oh god, here we go. Here we go.
The broad shoulders, the Adam's apple.
Oh, just to look like a fucking weirdo. I
can
mean,
see
come on.
His penis and balls are coming out of his bikini. There's no way.
I mean, come on, come on.
If I was over the stands and my daughter's competing, I'd be like,
What is this? He's a boy.
It's a boy.
He's a guy.
You
What
can
the
see
fuck
his
is this?
penis and his balls hanging out of his bikini. It's not fair.
The reason that progressives will not acknowledge the fact that there is a difference because it removes from them the ability to say that we're all equal. It's like, oh no, it's an equal playing field.
You just
No,
see him
the
like
fuck it's
holding the
not.
trophy up and his balls are hanging out the side of his. Doesn't seem fair.
Hold
Doesn't
on,
seem
guys.
fair to me.
I'll be right back. Thank you for treating me so ladylike, but I got to take a whiz. I'm gonna do it standing up. Oh, come on. This is just insane.
Gotta go.
One of the fellow
Squeeze
swimmers.
the lemon.
Oh my god, bro, you're giving me such bad mental images right now. Stop. Fucking stop. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me.
I'm just thinking like these other competitors up there with this dude.
Man, that chick's got a big dick.
God. Chick has the biggest dick I've ever seen. I think she's going to win. I'm betting on him. Her.
Oh my fuck. So what is this? Would you stop? I'm trying to fuck.
Sorry.
Oh my god. He's going on the list. Oh my god. I could just imagine like the bikini line going up the middle, so his dick's like taped to his stomach and his balls are hanging out both sides.
Well, like
No, it's my labial lips. Like,
as
no,
soon as
those
you
are
dive in,
testicles.
it's like everything comes out like
Oh
a
my
squid.
God. Bro, oh my god. Okay, so in the interview done anonymously, Some of this man's fellow teammates that are women are upset about this, but they can't come out and say it because if they do, they're afraid that essentially they're going to pay for it. And also saying it's a team event, so if they come forward and try and say anything, they're screwing themselves on this as well. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. You have the one Green Beret that turned man to woman, that beat the fucking brakes off this other woman, and progressives are just like, oh yes, it's so good. He just beat the shit out of a woman, and you're praising him for this. Get the fuck out of here. Look, I'll be real with you. If you want to say that men and women are equal in all senses, you're fucking wrong. You are 100% wrong. And it doesn't make one better than the other. It means that we complement each other on our differences. Men by nature, well, I shouldn't say this anymore because progressive men are like fucking beta little cock bitches. Like, look, in the dating world, it's not hard. I'm telling you, it's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel because when you're an alpha that actually takes care of yourself, you're educated, you have confidence, you know what you want, you're ambitious. These women are attracted to that because they are so sick and tired of the liberal beta fucks that are out there just trying to be little fuck boys. But when they see an actual man come along, they want that. They want that. And if a woman doesn't want that, that's not the kind of woman you want to be with. I can do everything for myself. I know you can. That's awesome. I would want a woman to be like that. But don't you sit there and think for a second that we're the fucking same when it comes to all matters. Physically, we are not the same. We are not the same. And between men that are liberal or progressive, or I should say conservative versus Republican, or goddammit, left versus right, for the most part, I would hope that conservative men fuck like animals. That's how it should be. You fuck a woman like a goddamn animal. You don't go in there and it's like, oh, am I hurting? Like, you just fucking, you put the fucking head in the pillow and you go to town on her. You let her know who's in charge in the bedroom. Kind of. Not really. Open your mouth. I'm going to spit in it. Women don't want a guy that cries after sex. I don't give a fuck what they say. They don't. They want a man that's going to be an alpha, that's going to make them feel like they are protected. Like they have someone there that could defend them.
Let me ask you, what would make you cry after sex?
If she pulled out her cock.
You're right.
I'm just being oh my God.
That's the exact right answer.
Gay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, not again.
Why does this keep happening to me?
I knew it felt weird. That wasn't her finger in my butt. That's weird. Dude, what the fuck? But yeah, it's the truth. It's the fucking truth. You should see these fucking women on these dating profiles looking for a real man. It's just like, what are you dating? And you kind of look around and it's like, oh, we're here in Dallas. We're predominantly blue. It's like, oh, this is what you got to choose from. Men that go out there and they put more attention on the type of fucking sneakers they wear than taking care of themselves. It's like, oh, I got these new banging fucking, bruh, like, look at these fucking shoes. Like, bro, you sound like a woman right now. Christ on. There's nothing wrong with dressing nice and taking care of yourself. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
But some of these dudes, you pamper yourself more than a fucking woman does. Whatever happened to the generation of getting dirt under your fucking fingernails, you got calluses on your fucking hands, and you can actually open a pickle jar. And to any woman that says that we're the same, all I got to do is put that pickle jar in front of you, and that will prove otherwise.
Open it.
Open it, bitch. Open the fucking pickle jar.
Let me see you open it.
I'll do it with my butthole. I'm just that good. You might not want to eat the pickles after, but you get what I'm going with. I'm kidding. Not Rob. I'm not. It's much more complex. Don't take this at face value. There's way more complexities into this, but the idea of traditionalism in regards to actual masculinity, not toxic masculinity, but actual masculinity does need to come back. Yeah. We need to bring it back. This has gotten so far out of fucking hand. These like, oh my God, dude. I regret to say this because I'm going to expose you to a world you do not want to see. But if you're on Twitter, follow Libs of TikTok. It's on Instagram as well, but it's a different account. You want to see, this is where it comes from. It's the younger generation of I get a trophy for everything that is ruining it for everybody. That's what this is. It's these young fucking kids, these young adults that essentially, before social media existed, didn't have a voice. And they shouldn't because you're fucking stupid. You are stupid. You don't know shit about life. Half of you probably aren't even paying taxes yet. So it's like, I don't want to sit there and be lectured by some fucking short bobbed hair fucking ugly woman that's a lesbian or poly whatever, has big ass fucking glasses, gauges the size of an elephant's balls in their fucking ear, with a septum ring that looks like you just want to lead them around a fucking McDonald's like a goddamn cow, and they want to lecture me on, well, gender's a social construct. Well, Jesus Christ, it has to be, because nobody wants to fuck you because you're not a woman. What the fuck are you? You got so much fucking metal in your face, you look like something out of fucking Cars. Jesus Christ. I don't know whether I like want to fuck your mouth or like do an oil change. This is what you are. This is what you've created. And then men want to sit there, and here's the thing. We can blame feminism, but men ultimately caved. Men ultimately caved. So you can blame feminism as the cause, but the causation, you can't blame fully. It's men that embrace this. And the ones that embrace this are simps trying to get their dicks wet from these fucking feminists. That's all it really comes down to. Like, oh my God. So the only way I'm going to get a woman is by being woke and fucking progressive? Well, okay, let me just go ahead and fucking dye my hair blue and act like a little beta bitch and all this other shit. And maybe I'm going to get laid. And in reality, they still don't want to fuck you because you're too much of a girl. I mean, fuck me. Maybe some of you need to go out there and get your testosterone levels checked. That's what you should probably do.
Maybe.
I mean, fucking A, man.
Stop eating so much damn corn syrup.
Damn liberals.
Right in your brain.
We're on the same path as Rome, ladies and gentlemen. We're falling into moral decay and degeneracy, political corruption, and that's how Rome fell. We are on the same track. Go look at the history of Rome. Go look at it. They got so soft and so weak, they hired so many mercenaries to do their fucking dirty work, and then eventually they got sacked multiple times by the barbarians. And they couldn't even do their own shit. We're going in the same direction. Same direction. Now look, I'm not sitting there saying that you have to embrace everything that makes a man, like going out there and just like beating up. And that's not what I'm saying. It comes from confidence. It comes from the ability to just lead. It comes from the ability to be strong, to put yourself in those situations. And don't get me wrong, we all have weak times. That doesn't mean you're not a man. But for me growing up, my father, before he took off, I'm not going to talk about that. He said that part of being a man is your word is your bond. And that's the one thing that to this day I do not like. If somebody gives me their word they're going to do something and they don't, that pisses me off. And I will never, in the business world, I fucking hate that. You give me a handshake, you say you're going to do something, you better fucking do it.
Oh, a handshake. Oh.
Or a kiss on the mouth. It's not gay.
Like...
Open kiss on the mouth. Or a hand job. That too. Yeah. It's not gay. It's not gay at all. Dude, I know gay guys that are more manly, these effeminate fucking betas on the left. And I know conservative gay dudes that are far more manly because they don't embrace that. Like, here's the thing. You want to talk about stereotypes? Look at the gay stereotype. Oh my God, that's so weird. Like, why are you talking like that? I know plenty of gay dudes, they don't talk like that. All you're doing is falling into a stereotype that you yourself have created. What are you doing? I know gay dudes that don't even talk like that. You're just being a freak show for the sake of wanting to get fucking attention. That's all you're doing. I saw this one interview about the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, and they're interviewing this gay dude. He's like, well, he's just like a white supremacist. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Gay people don't talk like that. You're just trying to get attention is all you want. That's all it is. Because somebody didn't give it to you growing up. And justifiably so, because you're probably a little shithead. Anyway. Make masculine gay again. Make gay masculine again. I mean, come on. You look at people like Rock Hudson, who was gay, but that dude was a fucking heartthrob.
Would have never have guessed it. Right?
No, you actually wouldn't have. A lot of people did not know Rock Hudson was gay.
I think a lot of those celebrities were.
Oh, absolutely. But they still were the epitome of being a man.
Except for Liberace. Everybody knew that guy.
Oh, yeah. That Elton John. I mean, come on. Come on. But at least they're
talented. Very talented.
Very. Absolutely. Oh, the gay community, they're wonderful. They got a lot of shit going for them. They're like the effeminate side of like straight men. It's like their fashion is great. They're just good people. I shouldn't say that by and large because there's a lot of gay people that just think assholes. But anyway, that goes back to the having sex and she pulls her dicks out and it's just like, oh, now I'm gay.
Yeah,
but you get where I'm going with this. Okay, let's go back. I don't know how the fuck we got into this. I'm
swerving all over the place.
I'm on one today, man. I'm on one today. I need to get laid. Coffee? What is in this fucking energy drink? Oh, we're drinking.
What's in this
today.
cocaine?
It's not a. It's not an endorsement, but whatever. Oh my God. Okay, so back to Don Lemon, who basically under the table gave Jussie Smollett information on the police not believing his testimony. So again, why isn't Don Lemon being brought up on charges right now? Now, we've covered this. We talked about this in a few other episodes. It's interesting, right? Don't talk to me about white privilege. Talk to me about black privilege. And again, if the system is so inherently racist, and we're going to take a magnifying glass to every single thing and blow it up out of proportion like they do with police shootings, well, then let's look at Kyle Rittenhouse. Jury got that one right. Armand Arbery. Jury got that one right. We look at fucking Jussie Smollett. Jury got that one right. White, black, black. Weird, right? But isn't it funny how in each case, left tried to make it about race? Whether it be the prosecution or the defense, Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 white dudes. The left tried to make it about white supremacy. Well, if that had been a black guy, he'd have been fucking, They found him guilty right away. Really? Because Ahmaud Arbery was gunned down by 2 white dudes in one videotape and 3 total. They're going to prison. Jussie Smollett faked his own hate crime. But I bet you he's not going to serve a day in prison. I guarantee he won't.
Nope.
He should.
He should.
You know how much
Absolutely.
diversity and anger that he caused? And then you had President Joe Biden tweeting out in support of him. You had every fucking influencer under the sun doing their best they could to just jump out into the fucking metaverse and show just how woke they are. We stand with our black homosexual brothers because, hate has no place in this world.
Yeah, when
Meanwhile,
it first
you
came
create
out,
your own hate. I mean, what is this?
when it first came out, I mean,
Nobody believed it.
well, I think it was like, man,
Come
that's
on.
terrible.
No.
At the very, very beginning,
it was kind of like, we're like, really?
Your friend Christy Swanson, she
Yeah.
came out. She was like, "Oh, that's terrible. Hope you're okay." Blah blah blah. And obviously, it would be a terrible thing to happen. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, that's terrible. And then once you start to see all the evidence, start to you're like, this guy's a fucking liar,
Bro, right off the fact, I'm just kind of like, what were 2 white guys doing in downtown Chicago at 2 a.m. with MAGA hats on? This doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
I mean,
And then the whole he's wearing the noose while he's calling the cops. Like, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, well, as soon as you start seeing things unfold, you're like, okay, this
And
guy's
look,
full of
I'm not
shit.
gonna lie about it. I have a lot of friends. Not all of them are as perceptive. Some people just have genuinely good hearts and they believe what they're told.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's kind of like I'm always skeptical. It's like, okay, there's 2 sides to every story.
Well, that's the problem now is that, if that does happen to somebody, you'd be like, well, I don't know if I believe it because remember the Jussie Smollett?
Old Jussie. All right, so let's continue on down the pipeline of the Jussie Smollett. Another article, this is from Foxx, says CNN, MSNBC downplay Jussie Smollett conviction, use verdict to bash conservatives. Smollett found guilty on 5 of 6 charges for the 2019 hate crime hoax. CNN and MSNBC have continued to treat Jussie Smollett with kid gloves, despite him being found guilty Thursday on 5 of 6 charges against him. Now, in a lot of the articles that CNN wrote, they said Jussie Smollett was guilty of some charges. They said some. They didn't list 5 out of 6. They said some. When it was Kyle Rittenhouse, they listed everything because they wanted to stir the base and show just how a white supremacist got out of, what was it, 5 charges?
Like right out of the gate.
100%.
He was a white supremacist.
Media manipulation at its finest. As Smollett's story crumbled, he emerged as a prominent symbol of how liberal media organizations often run with their preferred narrative before facts are known. Liberals peddle the false narrative, and okay. Fox does this too. Look, I mean, this article, I'm going to skip this. I don't like this because, again, it's like, Fox, dude, you're calling the kettle black. Like, you do the same fucking thing. Come on. I'm sorry. All right. And I've got some CNN stuff here. I've got some Breitbart stuff. I got MSNBC. I try and spread it out. The only problem is I just see a lot more from Fox that's actually covering legit shit than CNN. But New York City, I love this. Hold on. I want to finish the Smollett thing before we move on. We talked about Lemon, that moron. All right, so the next article is from Breitbart. It says, Jussie Smollett mercilessly mocked following guilty verdict, and God bless the internet because it wins again. The memes that are created now, like I saw Daily Wire created a meme that basically said, I guess Jussie Smollett can rest easy now that his killer has been found or his assaulter's been found. I love it. I love this. Mass mockery came pouring in on convicted hate crime hoaxer Jussie Smollett following Thursday's verdict, in which the disgraced actor was found guilty of 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct by a jury in Chicago. Let's just say that Jussie kicked his own ass really good this time, filmmaker and author Dinesh D'Souza quipped following Smollett's guilty verdict. This is from Michael Malice, who says, I guess this is mega country after all. Hashtag Jussie Smollett.
You know what's bullshit, too, is that Dinesh D'Souza, he spent like 18 months in jail.
But legitimately so. Trump pardoned him.
Right.
And so, in that
Well,
term,
he didn't get...
Yeah. Trump fucking held him out.
Yeah, he did his time.
Oh, he did
but afterwards, I think it was what do you call it when like it basically is
commuted?
Yeah. His
Trump helped him out.
right.
Yeah. There's some
But
things
still,
that
he did the
Dinesh-
time.
Dinesh has said some things I don't agree with. He attacked Milton Friedmanism. Dinesh D'Souza is a Trump loyalist. He's got to be. You can't go against the very same hand that fed you, or you're going to be like a fucking Mitt Romney or anybody. Anyway, Blair White says, poor Jussie, hope he doesn't beat himself up over this. Cat Turd says, for the first time in my life, I agree with Al Sharpton. The guilty must face the maximum.
That's pretty funny.
I love that. Use their own words against them.
I mean, Blair.
Oh, yeah.
Blair. He must be beating himself up over this.
Jake Baguette says, Jussie Smollett can sleep in peace tonight knowing his attacker was finally brought to justice. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love the internet. You're never going to beat the internet. Liz Wheeler says, I'm so glad they caught and convicted Jussie Smollett's attacker. Lisa Booth says, Jussie Smollett can finally rest easy tonight. Found a video of Jussie Smollett's attacker, and it's Jussie Smollett. This guy's such a piece of shit. Just a piece of shit. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. This isn't even a black versus white thing, like most people are going to look at on the surface. This guy tried to divide America by staging a hate crime and painting out Trump supporters to be the perpetrators, to only paint everybody on the right as being racist haters of black homosexual people. This goes beyond the political spectrum into good versus evil. This piece of shit sat there and in the midst of overwhelming evidence, in the midst of being proven wrong, sat there and said, I did not perpetrate a hoax. He stuck to his guns, no feelings of remorse, no apologies. This piece of shit would rather see the world or the country fucking burn than admit that he was wrong, and you just take your fucking licks like a man and you deal with the repercussions like a man. You did the fucking crime, now you do the time. But now they won't do that. They're going to double down, and the BLM will back him. A lot of minority Democrats will back him. He's just the victim of white supremacy in our culture. So he didn't have the hate crime done to him, but there's lots of black people that have hate crimes done to them. So by virtue, Jussie Smollett is just representing them. Bro, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. I love that I created that character in my mind and I told myself to shut the fuck up. I think I broke like the fifth wall on that one. That was actually really impressive.
I'm impressed.
I'm scared, honestly. If I ever start answering myself back, then it's a problem. A jury convicted Smollett of 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct for filing. Okay, we've already been over this. The class 4 felony carries a maximum sentence of up to 3 years in prison for each count. So realistically, 5 counts, that's almost 15 years in prison.
He should do at least 5 years.
Oh, I agree. This guy should go to prison. Yeah. He should.
And all those people who came out and
oh my gosh, they should apologize.
Yeah, they need to come out and say they were wrong.
Here's where it gets interesting. And this is the good part. This is the juicy part. Jussie Smollett verdict, a disaster for Kim Foxx, prosecutor who let him off the hook. You remember that?
Yep.
Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Oh, I got the pictures right here.
Ahead.
Nearly 3 years after dropping all charges against Empire actor Jussie Smollett, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx faced heavy criticism today after Smollett was found guilty of staging a racist homophobic attack. Smollett had originally stated that 2 men had attacked him in January 2019 near his home in Chicago, Illinois. The attack allegedly included the use of racial epithets and also tying a noose around Smollett's neck. However, an investigation by the Chicago police soon began to encounter numerous holes within Smollett's story, and prosecutors accused him of paying the pair of men to attack him. He was eventually charged with disorderly conduct for allegedly staging the crime. Despite looming evidence. This is after the investigation had begun, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. Despite looming evidence against him, however, Foxx and the state's attorney's office decided to drop all charges against him in exchange for Smollett performing community service. What color do you think she is? Weird. White privilege, right, folks? The decision was derided by then Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who called the dropping of charge a whitewashing of justice. You should call that blackwashing. Let's be fair.
Yep.
Call that blackwashing. Racism is racism, regardless of where it's at, ladies and gentlemen, be it white or black. It's racism. So if you want to call it whitewashing, call it blackwashing. You want to call it white privilege, call it black privilege, because that's exactly what it fucking is. And ultimately, it's just rooted in racism. That's all it is. It's just racism, pure in form. Pure to its pure core is racism. Foxx additionally faced criticism from the Chicago police, who maintained that Smollett had fabricated the event. Additionally, the Fraternal Order of Police, Chicago's police union, called for Foxx to step down from her post. Lady, you ain't about justice. You ain't it. You ain't about that. You're about racism. That's all you're about. You're letting this dude off the hook because he's black. That's the only reason. There is no other reason. Or because he's gay. When you have overwhelming evidence that points contrary and the investigation's begun and you just drop all charges, are you serious? Especially when the eyes of the world are on you.
Yep.
When the eyes of the world are on you and you decide to make a move like that, all that tells me is you're just trying, she knew he was guilty. She knew that. She's not stupid. The evidence was already piling up. So all that means is she's going to be like, I'm going to just take this, lift the rug up and sweep this on the rug because we can't have anything bad come out against black people because if we do...
You knew she saw the evidence.
Bro, 100%. She was in the prosecution team. She had access to it.
Oh, yeah, everything. She had access to everything. She knew it was a big hoax.
In the aftermath of the verdicts against Smollett, people took to social media to criticize the quickness with which Foxx has dropped charges against him in 2019, as well as her handling of the case overall. Commentator Dinesh D'Souza called Foxx complicit in the attempt to cover up Jussie Smollett's hate crime, and even if they weren't charged and found guilty for it. D'Souza also expressed anger that Foxx had reportedly been coerced into dropping Smollett's original charges by former First Lady Michelle Obama. Both Foxx as well as Smollett had been claimed to have relationships with the Obamas. Again, weird.
Yeah. Is it?
You talk about a former First Lady trying to, she should be charged. If that can be proven, you should be charged. How the fuck do you, as a former First Lady, have the audacity to try and influence someone into dropping charges? What the fuck? That's classism. Forget racism. That's fucking classism right there.
Yep.
So all the socialists out there, you should be up in arms about this too. A clear disparaging movement from classism right there. Because someone that was in the presidency had enough sway to convince a prosecutor to sweep it under the rug. And again, why? Oh, that's right. Because didn't Obama and Michelle invite Smollett to the White House? Oh, they sure did.
Sure did.
Sure did. It's fucking ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, these people are out of control. You see, it's all over the place. I mean, it really is. You see, like, NFL, they've got all the slogans all over the place. Yeah. Stop racism.
Oh, my God.
End hate.
It got so fucking. Oh my God! These people now when they espouse this bullshit, shut
who are
the
they
fuck
talking
up.
to?
Yeah, exactly.
Who you stop? You want me personally to stop it?
Yeah.
What do you do?
We need to fight racism. What are you fighting? Where is the racism except the racism that you create?
Where do you want me to?
Yeah, exactly. All you're doing is you're screaming at the sky to hear yourself talk because you want to convince yourself that you're such a good human being when in reality.
And hate.
And yeah. Oh, that did it. We did it. Like,
That's it?
What is the goal? What is the end goal with this?
It's the most ridiculous thing that you could possibly think of.
It's a generation of fucking idiots. It's all a generation of social media slacktivist idiots.
I wonder what some of these players are thinking as they wear these slogans on the back of their helmets or they go to these stadiums. It says "End hate."
Yeah.
Or
drawing like no hate on your cheek.
No hate.
I just want to use that for target practice when I'm jerking off.
What?
Let's turn your head. I want to see that no hate when I jerk off.
You want me to end racism?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, we got a lot of white people here in the stands. I guess we could.
Yeah.
What do you want to start going down this up and down the streets?
The NFL is like Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
I was like, the NFL is like a slave trade. Really, where you're paid millions of dollars by predominantly white people? Shut the fuck up and play the game. Okay. Christ Almighty, you morons have it so fucking good in this country, and you want to sit there and you want to cry about racism and all this bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? You sit there in your fucking ivory towers, richer than most white Americans, and you want to sit there and talk about racism and how bad you fucking got it. When I was a kid, I faced fucking discrimination. So do white people sometimes, dude. What the fuck do you want? What do you want?
The only people that had a leg up on anybody growing up, and we grew up, low income family, were the wealthy families.
I was a latchkey kid, yeah.
Those are the only people who had a leg. Yeah. There's only people who had an upper hand on anybody were the kids whose family were wealthy.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like
black or white or
if we took
whatever
a step
race
back
they were.
and we examine my life, and we want to talk about like the definition according to the left is white privilege is by virtue of skin color you're afforded opportunities that black or minorities wouldn't get. Okay, well, let's dissect that and how you generalize this bullshit and why it's rooted in bullshit. I grew up in a single parent household with a brother. My mom worked 2 jobs to put food on our table. I have to walk to school and walk home from school. I would have to go to the house, lock myself in there until she got home, then I could go out and play.
Yep.
Had no father figure. And then I went into the Army. White privilege did nothing for me. I never had a job prior to joining the Army. What I did in the Army was I did face discrimination from a racist black first sergeant named William Stanton, who ruined my career. I've talked about this numerous times. So you want to talk about white privilege? Let's talk about black privilege, who that black first sergeant was boys with the battalion sergeant major who was also black. And guess what? They were both black Masons. So don't sit there and tell me that racism doesn't exist by black people, because it sure as fuck does. And I take offense to that. When people say that it doesn't, yes, the fuck it does. It ruined my career, which in a sense I should be thankful for. Because had that not happened, I'd probably still be in the Army and fucking miserable. And then working for the Biden administration wanting to blow my fucking brains out. It's the truth. Everything happens for a reason. God bless. Probably shouldn't have said that at that point, but whatever. talking about no racism from black people, these fucking morons. All you're trying to do is say that is to get yourself out of the actual racist actions of your community because you don't want to take any accountability. And you shouldn't have to. That's the other part. Like, you shouldn't have to. You should not feel guilty if you're black and there is a black racist. You didn't commit it. He did. This generalization is stupid. But if we're going to play by those rules, then I will hold you accountable to the very same rules that you hold white people accountable to. So you see, it's suddenly not fair and you don't like that. And that's just the way it works. Them's the rules. You either play by them or you shut the fuck up. Damn, I'm on fire. My dick is so hard right now. If you could see it under this tape, it's fucking massive. It's massive. My white privilege dick. It's a white privilege dick.
Okay. No.
New York City won't surrender to BLM rioters, incoming Mayor Eric Adams warns. He's a Democrat. I'm impressed with this. This is impressive. Adams ran as a Democrat, but this Thursday, comments seemed well received by some notable local Republicans in the audience. We are seeing a shift, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing a shift. There is a change. With the rising violent crimes in these blue Democrat-controlled cities, through movements of defunding the police, the BLM wanting to abolish the police, Democrat citizens are getting fed the fuck up, as they should be. As you should be. New York City Mayor-elect issued a stern warning Thursday night to those expecting to continue the riots and looting the nation's largest city has ever seen over the past 2 years. Not my city, Eric Adams, a former police captain who was elected in November to succeed termed out Mayor Bill de Blasio, said at a police athletic league event at the Harvard Club, according to the New York Post. De Blasio needs to go. They need to lock that motherfucker up. I hope somebody takes him out. He's a piece of shit.
Total piece of shit.
Another fucking tyrant in a suit. We're not going to surrender those who are saying we're going to burn down New York, Adams said. We're not going to surrender to those who say we're going to... Bro, all right, sounds good. Put your money where your mouth is. Sounds fucking good. Let's see you actually back that up. Let's see you unleash the police on these pieces of shit. Go to town on them. Look, I am all for your First Amendment right to protest. But when you start damaging other people's properties, bro, put the fucking hammer down. Let's get some law and order back into this country. There's a difference, and I understand it's a slippery slope. I'm not for police brutality. I am for oversight of police departments, 100%. You have to have it. I don't trust cops. I don't hate them. But you should not trust any politician, and you should not trust any cop. Because what happens then is if the overwhelming majority of people trust them blindly, that's where corruption sets in. There has to be a counterbalance of healthy skepticism and healthy paranoia. It keeps people honest. That's why there's checks and balances. Same reason. I hope people can understand that. That's not me saying I don't support black. I don't back the blue. Well, it comes with terms. Like the CIA, the FBI, the ATF, fuck them. Don't like them, get rid of them. I don't like them. I will never support them. If you work in that field, fuck you. You're against the Constitution. I don't give a fuck if that offends people. I know for the longest time I was pro Blue Lives Matter, and I still am for where it's needed, where it doesn't violate the Constitution. A lot of y'all aren't going to like me after this. It's just where I am now. I mean, I've evolved. That's my way of thinking. Makes sense to me. Fuck the ATF. Infringing on every fucking gun law out there. It's ridiculous.
Hello, somebody.
We're not going to surrender to those saying we're going to burn down New York. The message seems squarely aimed at Hawk Newsom, a local leader of the Black Lives Matter movement who last month threatened riots, fire, and bloodshed if Adams tried to revive past anti-crime practices that were discarded during the de Blasio years. And look where New York's at now. Highest crime rate in the last 2 years, really? So this BLM leader is saying, what, you're going to flex on him? Bro, good luck. I hope they fucking lock your ass up. Because fellow Democrats are sick of your shit. You're a black supremacist is all it is. Bongino had him on the show, and Bongino called him a fucking coward.
Yeah.
This guy's a fuck. Like, you listen to how these people talk. They have no education. These are not the ones you want leading your movement. That's like the BLM chapter here in Dallas was being led by Alexander Dominique. You listen to this guy talk, you would think he's legitimately retarded. Like, you want this guy leading your movement? No. If you have issues within the black community of police brutality, basically you want to elect someone that's educated, well-spoken, and represents you. Not some fucking moron that's got child beating charges and traffic or fucking check bounces, grand theft auto. You want him representing you? That makes no sense. You want someone that's going to legitimately stand and represent your cause. This moron does not do it. You listen to him talk, and he's a moron. He's a fucking idiot. Newsom later declined to walk back his remarks during the hold on. The message seemed squarely aimed at Hawk Newsom. Okay, yeah. Newsom later declined to walk back his remarks during a November 13th interview with Fox News Unfiltered host Dan Bongino, saying he understood why people lash out. Adams' remarks also appeared to be aimed at those responsible for property damage in the city Queens brought in response to last month's acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse in Wisconsin, the Post reported. Why? This is how stupid the BLM is. This incident happened in Wisconsin, and you're rioting in New York. And it wasn't even a race issue. He shot 3 white dudes. Wow. You fucking BLM members like this, you're hoping that you can make it about you. You are begging. You are so selfish in your slacktivism that you try and you hijack any movement and make it about yourself. How fucking sanctimonious are you? You fucking morons. You sit there oh my God, if he'd been a black guy, and you say nothing about Ahmaud Arbery. You say nothing about Jussie Smollett. Not a fucking peep out of you.
Yep.
Not a peep. Maybe it's because you're all fucking hypocrites. We're not going to have a city where anarchists come from outside our city and go into a community such as Queens and destroy the community for their own selfish needs and desires, Adams said. Adams ran as a Democrat in the overwhelmingly blue city, but this Thursday, comments seemed well received by some notable local Republicans in the audience, including former NYPD Commissioner William Bratton, billionaire businessman John Cadmadis, and New York GOP Chairman Ed Cox, the report said. Adams acknowledged fellow cop Brayton, 74, who served 2 stints in NYPD commissioner in 94 to 96 and 14 to 16, and also served in top posts in Boston and Los Angeles, and as a Homeland Security advisor to President Obama, Trump, and Biden. Bratton is widely credited with helping New York City crime during his time at the helm. Bill Bratton, your legend has not only been completely closed, Adams said, adding he intends to borrow from Bratton's crime-fighting playbook, according to the Post. Adams also reminded listeners that he defeated a large field of Democratic candidates in the city's mayoral primary, including the one candidate who proposed taking away weapons from city police officers. Bro, you take weapons away from cops, they're going to walk.
Yep.
They will walk. A part of me kind of wanted to see that. I was like, elect this dude because we want you to serve as like the trial version of what happens when you Democrats that are so stupid get your way. Oh yeah, disarm the police.
Look what's happened so far.
Yeah. You defunded
like
them.
Murder cases up, like skyrocketing across these liberal cities.
Cops won't respond to some crimes. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what else do you need to see?
Democrats.
How many more people need to die?
Yeah, 100%. But Democrats, they'll only care when it's somebody they care for actually dies personally. But they'll probably misdirect the blame.
I don't even think they care. The Democrats are a party of death and racism.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree.
That's what they run on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any substantive ideas or
I think
long-term goals for the United States. They don't like America.
No, I think more and more people are finally waking up. Look at this. A black Democrat that has won the New York City mayor is actually making statements like this, and it's being well received. Mm-hmm. Now I think Democrats, and it's the fringe and the more moderates, not the extremists. Look, if Democrats want to pose a serious threat to Republicans for moving forward, you've got to get yourselves away from these extremists within the left. And as does the right, but the right doesn't have nearly as much as the left does. In fact, the left is trying to fake a lot of shit. They're trying to fake these hate crimes. They're trying to fake these protests.
It's every time they've
been
it,
caught too.
Yeah, every time, like every time.
Yeah,
every time they get called out.
There was the one, the gun rally in it was like a year or so ago, and they found that the BLM were bussing in people that were wearing fake MAGA hats and shit to make them look like that and causing issues. They knew this. This is what they do. This is Soros. I hope somebody takes out Soros. That guy needs to die. You talking about this? Like I said,
he was an actual Nazi.
He was an actual fucking Nazi, and they praise this guy.
And let me tell you, and if you say something to one of their supporters or anything, they were like, "Oh, he's done so much
good,
so much good." And
how many people did he kill?
Okay,
how many people did he get?
Well, he gets
killed?
a pass. Well, yeah. Who determines who gets a pass for their past experiences?
There's a difference if you do your time to society, but when you willfully murder when you legitimately going out there and you murder somebody intentionally, you should be put away for life.
I don't think. I mean, for a politician, for example. So Joe Biden's been in office for 600 years.
Yeah,
he's done nothing.
No.
Yeah, he shouldn't get another shot.
I agree. There should be
a lot.
No more.
And that's how all these politicians are. You shouldn't get another chance.
I agree.
All right. If you can't budget $4 trillion,
get out.
If you can't budget $1 trillion,
get out.
Yeah, you're useless.
Well, then there was actually a good point that there was this I forget the senator's name. Man, he nailed it. Fuck, I can't think of his name. like kind of overweight black dude. I forget where he's fucking said, but he was in this meeting, and he basically talked about. I think they were discussing some kind of budget, and somebody referenced Biden. He basically came out and said, "Why are we listening to Biden? He's never ran a business, and he's never helped the local economy.
None of them have.
None of them." And so they basically tried going after this guy, saying, "You know, strike those remarks. They're against the president." It's like, I'm stating a fact. Biden has never held a job in the public sector outside of being in politics. Why should he be responsible for doing these things like this that he's clearly fucking up?
Yeah.
Why are we taking these people that just have these law degrees? So here's the other thing. Like, I got into a Twitter beef, which I'm trying to get away from because Twitter is just fucking literal eye cancer. And some fucking little socialist beta cuck on Twitch wants to come after me. And he's just kind of like, he calls me a terrorist. He's like, you Christian Republicans are all the same. You don't give a fuck about anybody but yourselves. Like, yeah, that's the premise of it. Leave me the fuck alone. You're not my responsibility. And he's like, I care. I don't want you to have to work 60 hours a day and get paid minimum wage, blah, 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 blah. And he goes on this whole socialist tirade. And I look at him as like, do you run a business? And the answer is no, he doesn't. He's a Twitch streamer. You run no. So please, Mr. Socialist Twitch streamer, tell me more about the businesses that you run, that you have experience in, because everything he said, I actually agree with. But by virtue of him being a socialist, we actually agree on a lot more than he would realize. But by, me being a business owner and a supposed Republican and a Christian, he automatically goes after me. He's like, you shouldn't pay unlivable wages. He's like, okay, fair enough. I'll have that argument. I was like, a livable wage is what? It's based upon local economy. Also, not all jobs are meant to have livable wages. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sorry. If you work at McDonald's and you're in your 40s, you did something wrong.
That should be a
temp job.
Should be a second job.
That should be a second fucking job.
Yeah. Look, like, I'm trying to pay off credit card debt.
I'm not going to spare your feelings here. If you are up there in age and you are working a fucking minimum wage job, you fucked up somewhere along the line, or you were dealt an unfair hand. But what are you going to do about it is my next question. You're going to continue doing it, bitch about it, or you're going to try and do something with yourself?
No, I mean, if there's somebody out there that is working at McDonald's as a second job trying to pay off credit card debt.
Respect to you, 100%. But don't sit there and demand that McDonald's changes their fucking policy to suit your needs.
Nope.
The job is the job. Jobs should not be changed to suit the individual needs of the people. It doesn't
work
that way.
That's how a business plan works.
Exactly. So, and this idiot also says, if you can't afford to pay above the minimum wage and offer benefits and shit, you shouldn't be in business.
Here's your $65 number 3.
Let's get into this real quick, because I know you have the numbers off the top of your head. You want to talk about these moron socialists that live in this fucking utopia that does not exist in real life? This fucking ass clown comes out there and says, if you can't afford to pay your employees above minimum wage and offer them benefits and take care of them, you shouldn't be in business. Josh, we're a year 2 company. How much does it cost us every month to provide our employees benefits?
Oh God, it's a lot.
By the way,
it's a lot.
We're still a small business.
Yeah,
we are still a small business. We pay upwards of like 30?
Yeah,
upwards of $30,000 a month to make sure our employees have benefits. We are by no means required to pay that.
No,
we do it because we want to take care of our employees. So please, Mr. Twitch Socialist, his name is like First Sale 18 or whatever, you please explain to me how a small business is supposed to push its way into the free market to combat monopolies and corporations that you actually love because you destroy small businesses. How are we supposed to compete with that? Because honestly, at the core root of it, you are fucking retarded, stupid people, and you don't know shit about fuck. You sit there and you stream on Twitch, you read these headlines, you've got no experience in the real world, you've never balanced the budget, you've never had employees, you don't know anything about businesses and how bad we're being taxed by the government. You don't know anything. So instead, you regurgitate these talking points from these leftist fucking streamers that also do not own businesses. Every time I go on a panel and I debate you fucking retards, every single one of you does not own a business. You don't know shit about running a business. Nothing of anything that is involved with the financial details of running a fucking business. So you, by sitting there, you sit there and you jerk yourselves off on your streams like, like Hassan Piker, making millions, and then he goes out and buys a fucking $3 million mansion in California. And you want to lecture me on how I run my fucking business? How dare you? You should pay a livable wage. What if I can't? Let me break it down Barney style to you. I love how we're all over the place on this one today. Let me break something down. When I was making tankards in my garage, do you know the hardest transition I would have had to face was? Hiring another employee. Because now, if I'm wanting to increase production and volume and scale, I have to bring somebody else on. But according to you Democrats, I should pay that guy a livable wage. I can't afford that. What's a livable wage? Explain that to me. So If I can't afford to pay him $15, $20 an hour, my business doesn't expand. I don't help stimulate the local economy. Thus, the major corporations have a monopoly. I have no chance in hell. So all you're doing by your virtuous fucking browbeating and chest beating is hamstringing smaller businesses. And that's the other part. I actually had a part-time helper. I paid her like $10 an hour. She came in and she sanded tankards for me for like 2 or 3 days because she wanted to help. So yeah, absolutely, I can use the help, sure. But if I was to bring on an employee full-time and pay them $15, $20 an hour, I'm going to have to go out there and take a loan or get investors. And I'm hoping I can scale that business. And the beautiful thing about it was we weren't able to. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Now, if we didn't have shell shock, I would be thousands upon thousands in debt working for another corporation, and I would not have a small business as we do now.
Yeah.
So you Twitch streamers, you fucking morons, you don't know what you're talking about. You genuinely don't know what you're saying. You are the millennial, the young millennial / Zoomer generation that you were told how smart, how special, how beautiful, how intelligent. And in reality, your parents fucking lied. They raised an idiot. They raised a fucking moron. So unless you are running a company and a business, I don't want to hear from you. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. You don't know anything because you've never done it. And the same applies to the military. You have a brand new second lieutenant that comes in, and he was trained at West Point, spent 4 years there, learning everything under the books. Dude, until you take your ass into the wood line and you actually learn 7-8 battle drills, you don't know shit about fuck. And don't presume to lecture me because you've never done it. It sounds good by a book. It looks great. It breathes well. But then reality kicks in, and then you start getting kicked in the fucking teeth. It's like, wait a minute. I didn't learn this. Yeah, because you're taught antiquated, outdated bullshit. My God, we're being taxed left and right.
No, man. If I hear someone say, you got to pay your fair share one more time,
100%.
I'm going to fucking choke them out.
Bro, Biden said that. We paid so, like, God, I wish... Fuck, man.
It's our highest paid employee is the fucking government, and they produce nothing.
They produce nothing.
And it's the biggest obstacle to overcome because every time you go to the mailbox, there's another fucking bill for...
You said the government does not like small businesses. No. They do not. Why the fuck do they offer tax breaks and incentives for large-scale corporations? I mean, they do have some for small businesses, but fuck me, they tax the shit out of us.
Why is Nancy Pelosi able to get insider stock trade information?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
How is that legal from
100%.
credit cards company, and then all of a sudden a credit card bill that was supposed to go through, it's put off for a couple years.
Yep.
How's that? These people are criminals. They shouldn't be in office.
They're fucking pieces of shit. This is
honestly, I'm surprised
evil.
that a bunch of people haven't, I know
what you're saying.
Reenacted the Boston
Tea Party.
Yeah.
Instead of tea, throw them in the water.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's really maddening. It really is maddening because they produce absolutely nothing, and they're the cause of all of our problems,
bro.
Cause of all of our
You're
problems.
not lying.
Yeah.
You are not lying. We have looked to the government to be the saviors of the republic.
It should be a very small government. Yep. Everybody should have a shot at office.
Let state rights do what they want. Yeah. Let states dictate. The federal government needs to step the fuck out when it comes to state-ran stuff. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to human rights, everyone should be involved. When it comes to state legislation,
right?
Like, so for example, moving on, we have Ron DeSantis back on the news. He said, exclusive, DeSantis will issue emergency order barring state licenses for Florida facilities that house illegal alien children from Biden border crisis. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Cut the source. Cut the source. You start going after the safe havens, you eliminate the problem. But honestly, actually, you don't. Economically, you've got to attack it. You've got to attack this from economic. Essentially, you can try and put up a wall to keep the mouse from the cheese, but until you eliminate the cheese, the mouse is going to keep finding ways. It's going to keep finding. So economically, you have to eliminate that. Or you just deal with illegal immigration, which is great for small business owners with no penalties. Because here's the thing. Milton Friedman talked about this, and it was actually very well put. He talked about illegal immigration is wonderful for small businesses as long as it's illegal. Meaning, if I had, say, for example, 4 or 5 illegal Mexicans that came across the border and they wanted to work for Shell Shock, I'd pay them $5 an hour. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just making an example here, ladies and gentlemen.
$2.50.
But if I'm paying them $5 an hour versus the required minimum wage that America dictates, I'm actually going to make more money. And if I'm smart, I'm going to invest back into the business. But that's why it's great. But it doesn't work that way.
No.
But Milton Friedman had a point. Mm-hmm. I remember I used to work on offshore oil rigs. When I first got out of the Army, I did electrical wiring and stuff like that. I was being an electrician's apprentice. And I remember there were so many illegal Mexicans that were working there that because I worked in Sabine Pass, and they had all these rigs. They would pull them out from the ocean, they bring them into dock, and then we get on there and we work on. We pulled the old wire out, pulled new wire in. It was a difficult job, but there were so many illegals there that there was one time I never forgot that illegal immigration came down to the docks, and that's when I first learned what la migra meant. And so, bro, I went in for lunch. I come out of the little Connex where we usually take our lunch, and the dock is empty. There was legitimately on a dock that normally houses about upwards of 1,000 people. There's about 20 white dudes left. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It's like, everybody started laughing. Like, oh,
scattered.
No. Bro, they're gone. Like, illegal immigration came in, and those dudes fucking ran.
You saw 100 people out in the ocean swimming.
No, they fucking got in their cars and they rolled, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They rolled the fuck out of there. Because the one dock, I guess the illegal Mexicans on the far dock started calling all their boys. And it's just like, hey, man, fucking immigration's here. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody took off. And that's when I started really understanding how large-scale contractors and corporations employ illegal immigrants because they pay them like shit, and also they treat them like shit, meaning they are in very unsafe working conditions. And here's the thing, and that's why these people out there that want to talk about like these equal rights people, about, we should allow illegal immigrants to come over and get jobs, you're actually doing them a disservice because these employers treat them like shit.
Yeah.
They make them work in the most unsafe working conditions that no normal American would work in because the labor union would block that or labor laws would block that. But these illegal immigrants, they can't say anything because if they do, they get deported. And now, if we don't deport them, these are still going to treat them like shit because they're not going anywhere and they still need the job.
Yeah.
So these Democrats are trying to stand up for all these you're actually doing a disservice. You think you're doing good because the press tells you are. You feel good in your no-no bits. Oh, I'm standing up for illegal immigrants. Oh, good for you. Realistically, you're probably getting a lot of them hurt and not paid a fair day's wage. Don't get me wrong. I'm for immigration, but I'm also for immigration when it's done the legal route. I want to make sure, like Trump said, they're not sending us their best folks. And they're not.
Yeah, he's right.
There was an article that just busted out about the border, a border town between Texas and Mexico. The cartel, literally from a mountainside, fired on this fucking village, and the Mexican National Guard had to come in and push them back. Jeez. Do not tell me that Mexico does not have a problem. Do not tell me they are not trying to traffic their people over here for drugs, sex, and all of these things. Do not tell me they don't. They do. And it should be combated. I don't know how many times we've talked about women that cross the border. 74, and this is like 3 years ago. It's probably changed. 74% of women are sexually molested.
Especially now. Because under the Trump...
The borders are wide the fuck open again, baby.
Under Trump's administration, it was the border crossing was down, I don't know, like 80 or 90%, and now it's back up to like 80, 90%.
Yep. I just got the picture of the trans swimmer you sent me. What's wrong with you? Why are you doing this to me?
Look at the shirt.
Don't do this. What are you doing to me here? Did you Photoshop that?
A quick one.
It says penis. So DeSantis will issue emergency order barring state licenses for Florida facilities that house illegal alien children from Biden border crisis. Florida GOP Governor Ron DeSantis will take a major step on Friday morning to stop the influx of illegal aliens claiming to be unaccompanied children into the state, thanks to Democrat President Joe Biden's secret nighttime flights. Breitbart News has learned exclusively from the governor's team. DeSantis' administration, through the Florida Department of Children and Families, DCF, will issue what is called an emergency order blocking the issuance or renewal of state licenses to DCF facilities throughout the state of Florida. Where is Abbott on this?
I don't know.
Like, DeSantis is crushing it. Yeah. Where is Abbott? Abbott, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Like, is he taking these measures? Like, maybe I'm missing it. I hope I'm missing it. I know Abbott's done a lot of good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't see Abbott doing anything remotely close to this. Like, DeSantis is attacking the issues. He's basically using states' rights to undermine the federal government, saying, you're not going to do that here. We don't want that in Florida. You are not one. Like, my God. I mean, they said, like, this last voter registration was the highest turnout of Republican voters in the history of Florida. Mm-hmm. Florida is fed the fuck up. Texas needs to follow suit.
Yeah.
Texas needs to follow suit. All these states need to follow suit. Start standing up. And here's the thing. I talked to a gentleman in the gym today. Really nice dude. His name was Robert. We were in the dressing room. It got really awkward. We looked at each other's penises. It was weird. Anyway, no. Robert, we basically talked about it. He's like, what do people need to do to get more involved? I was like, honestly, go to the polls.
Yeah.
Get your people and family to the polls.
You got to
have discussions. Speak out. Change people's minds. Because people are kind of like, oh, all this is like social media activism by just bitching about shit. No, it's exposing them to new perspectives. understanding that the facts are not on your side, making them wake up and realize this. This is how you change minds. That's how it works. And so you should be speaking out, because if you don't, we don't want the silent majority. We want the vocal majority. The left is amazing at that. The right, not so much. And the right needs to stop dividing. It needs to stop dividing in regards to race, religion, and all this bullshit. I'm looking at you, Turning Point. I don't know if they're still doing it. That got brought up under discussion, too. He's like, Turning Point's like, no, they're Trump loyalists. And they also include divisiveness within the GOP establishment. They don't preach unity. They segregate based upon race and religion. They do the same thing the left does, just around Republican values. It's the same fucking thing. You want racism to die out? Stop talking about racism. Stop trying to bring it up as a weapon that you're trying to wield. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we want to talk about why we are in the situations that we are in America right now, ladies and gentlemen, with our youth. This is why right here. California school district, and this is California. California needs to break off and just drift away over to Russia. Let them have it. California is a cesspool of liberal immorality and degeneracy. I mean, fuck, Hollywood's over there. Like, get rid of it. It's disgusting. California's a beautiful state, too. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But these people, fuck. The girl I'm talking to, she's like, would you ever come visit me in California? He's like, it depends on what part. It depends on what part. But this shit, it's like, I would never live in California. I would never live in California. California school districts dropping D and F grades will help pandemic-era students. Some schools in California are using social justice tactics to try to repair the damage done to school-age children over the past almost 2 years of coronavirus lockdowns and remote learning. That includes the Los Angeles Unified, Oakland Unified, Sacramento City Unified, San Diego Unified, and other districts are phasing out grades below a C for high school students. All you've done is eliminated the standard and allowed people to be dumber. You literally just open the floodgates for stupid people to pass off as smart people. And ultimately, this is going to affect the workforce.
That's why they want a McDonald's job to pay $35 an hour.
Their kids are so fucking stupid because the educators are stupid as well.
Yeah.
Let's lower the bar. The bar for excellence has been lowered so much by progressives, it's gotten insane. It has gotten ridiculous. Look at the military. Now look, I'm not trashing women here. I'm not. Please don't take it that way. But when we want to say that women should be able to fill these slots, as long as those standards are not dropped, fine. The standards get dropped left and fucking right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And ultimately, the entire force pays. If a student fails a test or doesn't complete their homework, they'll be able to retake the test and get more time to turn in assignments. Yeah, because that's how life works, ladies and gentlemen. That is 100% how life works. If I have an employee that comes in late every day, hey, it's okay. Take your time. I know life sucks. It don't work that way, and it'll never work that way, and it should never work that way. I tell every one of these employees, or their team leaders do, is we brief them. You come into work late numerous times, pack your bags, get the fuck out. I pay you to do a service, you better do the fucking service, and you better be on time. And if you're not, get the fuck out. I mean, we have so many people that are like, John, I would love to work for you. I was like, no, you don't. Unless you can handle it, which we have an amazing team that does but we fired a lot of people.
Yeah.
We fired a lot of people that come in here with a socialist mindset of, I could be a few minutes tardy, work should be here to, fuck no, you can get the fuck out.
Like, no, we're serious about what's going on
Goddamn right it is. You
it's
weak, thin-skinned people out there that you want to sit there and say that, you shouldn't work to live, or you shouldn't live to work, you should, It's like, look, you don't seem to understand. If this business fails, you're out of a job. And you're not getting paid. And by the way, again, we're about to be a year 2 company.
Yeah.
We don't even pay minimum wage. We pay above that.
Yeah.
But even still, you're given benefits. You have a 90-day probationary period now. So we do a damn good job here. But you don't seem to understand. If I have employees that come in here with a socialistic, lazy-ass mindset, I'm fucking getting rid of you. Because you're not going to destroy what we've built. You want to take your lazy ass and go do those flexible hours? Go work from home selling Etsy.
Yeah.
You're not coming here. You want to come through these fucking doors, you're going to do your goddamn job. And if you can't do your goddamn job, I don't give a fuck if you're a combat wounded veteran. Get the fuck out. You know what right looks like, and there is no other excuse. I've got veterans in here with PTSD that actually work their asses off and do a good fucking job. The age of excuses and lowering the standard based upon your life, that should never happen. Now, don't get me wrong. There are cases. We take it on a case-by-case basis. We're lenient with people because we know life happens. But if it's a consistent thing, go find a different job. You're not welcome here. We don't need you. That's all this promotes right here. We're going to lower the standard. No more Fs, no more Ds, only A's, B's, and C's. And if you don't score an A, B, and C, you're going to retake the test again. All that basically says is you're not taking it seriously enough the first time. And if you're not going to, I don't want you here. It's the same in the military. You don't get to repeat the mission. You don't get to repeat the action. You get one shot at it. You don't train for 6 months in boxing to lose the fight and say, wait a minute, it didn't go the way I want. Let's do it again real quick. No, it doesn't work that way. And it shouldn't. You have one shot, one chance. So I know where you're going. I know. Say it. Spit it out. I know what you're going to say. You got one opportunity. Got some Eminem in here. But you get what I'm saying, though.
Uh-huh.
All this promotes is laziness, and this is why progressives are so stupid. They're lazy. Their socialistic policies do not work. These blue cities are shit. Your crime is way the fuck up, and nobody wants to move there. You got the LAPD, like we talked about before. Do not come here. We cannot guarantee your safety because of lazy fucking Democrat motherfuckers that want to abolish the police, defund the police, and you've just exacerbated the problem. And all you're going to do is continue to cry racism within the system, when in reality, you are the core, or you are the reason, or the majority of your own problems.
You know, if they wanted to do their own policing, they failed.
Oh,
they failed miserably.
100%. Yeah, I would love to see that, though.
That's what they said they were going to do. They said we needed more community policing.
I would love to see these inner blue city police their own. Please show me what that looks like. Please.
We saw it. We're seeing it real time. They just came out and said, don't come to L.A. We can't protect you because the crime is so bad. You'll probably get murdered. Or did you see the one video of the lady with their kid, her little baby in her stroller?
Yeah, and they got attacked.
Yeah, she opens the gate to her house, wheels it in. And these two fucking punks with her baby rob her.
Yeah, 100%.
Scumbags.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if you don't carry a gun after that, or move out of that city, jeez.
Girl I'm talking to actually, I don't want to put her information out there, but there have been multiple women that I've talked to, though, in the past that have been in my DMs and shit when we talk about gun legislation. And I've had one woman, I remember she was out of New York, I think it was. She said she was raped.
Jeez.
And for her to get a gun, she had to essentially take all that stuff and go prove why she needed a gun to keep her safe because of her past experiences. Like, that's reactionary versus preventative. Like, if a woman wants to stop from being raped and men are bigger by comparison for the most part, you're not going to physically stop that.
No.
That's why you need a gun to shoot that motherfucker in the head.
Right in his ball sack.
Shoot him.
Yeah.
Shoot him. Just fucking kill him. You rid that's what Kyle Rittenhouse did. You ridded us of a fucking perverted pedophile, a woman beater, and you blew the bicep off another fucking felon. It's a piece of shit.
Should be thanking him.
Like, realistically, Democrats, do you not understand, like liberal women, do you not understand that these anti-gun policies they're trying to push are putting you at a disadvantage? Do you not see that? California has the strictest gun laws in the nation, and crime is through the fucking roof. All you're doing is like you see right now, these bash and grabs. Criminals do not obey the laws. So stop putting law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage.
I saw the one store owner marked everything up to $959.
And so there's a coupon at the front you can get to mark it back down. Because that way, because for those that it's brilliant. Because for those that don't know, they talked about there was a new law in California that they would not be charged for a misdemeanor, if it was below a certain amount of money. So you can go look up the article, and he basically marked up candy bars to like $999.
Yeah.
Now, you can come to the storefront and get a coupon to knock that price down to like $1, but it's still legally. Now he can prosecute. And that's how it should be. I love free market.
Yeah.
I love capitalism, how it can come in there and actually counter.
I wouldn't want to be in there. I wouldn't want to have a business in California.
Oh, God, no. Hell no.
I mean,
or Austin,
companies
or any
like
Democrat city.
Tesla are having a hard time, or Joe Rogan.
They all came to Texas.
All came to Texas. If they're leaving, how could a small business make it?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I have so many friends that have left California. It's like, I'm out. Like, I can't. And, like, again, the girl I'm talking to, she has an apartment in California. I think it's 2-bedroom. She pays almost $2,000 a month.
It's insane.
I have a 4-bedroom house here in Texas. I'm not even paying close to that.
I know.
I got a buddy, or my cousin up in New York, owns a house on Staten Island. That house is valued. It's a 2-story house, I think like 5 or 6 bedrooms. It's a little bit older, over $1 million. He could sell that thing and come down to Texas and live like a king.
Yeah.
These Democrat-controlled cities.
Move out of these cities, I would 100% move
100%,
out.
Yeah. And that's another reason why we need the Electoral College.
Yeah.
Because if you choose to live in these shithole cities, don't expose me to the bullshit that you've created in your own fucking socialist utopia or democratic utopia. I don't want to be there.
No.
Or dystopia, rather. Excuse me. Like, you should not be able to speak for me that lives in the suburbs and says, I don't want your bullshit. You want to go live over there? You want to pay higher taxes? You want to deal with a higher crime rate that you yourself have helped contribute to by defunding the police? By all means. Don't spread your shit over here. Be forced to wear a mask everywhere you go. You keep your shit in your city. I don't want it. Leave me the fuck alone. That's why I don't live there. That's another reason why we moved out of Dallas. Like, Dallas is way too expensive. It's funny, like a 2-bedroom apartment in downtown Dallas is almost about $2,200 in downtown Dallas proper. It's like $2,200.
The crime is terrible.
Oh, crime is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Oh, a lot of you don't know this. Actually, I'm not gonna get into that. In regards to statistics of those that are committing the majority of sexual crimes towards children, it ain't white people. Oh, we're not ready to have that conversation yet, are we? Can't have the conversation. It ain't black people either. I know a lot of people are thinking it ain't. Statistically, it's not. But they won't release those figures. It's weird. When you look at the actual cases and the case numbers, the case file, all that shit, statistically, the highest number of people that are committing these acts towards children are from a minority group, illegally. Because their culture promotes that.
Mm-hmm. You have these people that come out and say, if we can implement some gun laws that'll just save one life, save one child's life.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
100%. But how many lives is it going to cost in the meantime?
Okay, so let's apply that same logic to securing the border.
Yeah. If it saves one life.
I mean,
or prevents one woman that's coming across the border from getting raped.
You could say, statistically speaking, a gun saves between 500,000 to 300, or not 300, but 3 million.
There's one thing that we can't prove in regards to preventing crime. Like when somebody has a gun.
If they see you wearing a gun,
exactly.
They're not going to.
Then we go into open carry. But your point still stands.
Yeah.
It's like, how much crime does that deter?
Right.
And we're not taking that into account either. Like, it's kind of like in Texas, depending on where you go. Like, if they know you're armed, they're not going in there.
Yep.
They are not going to go in there because they know if they pull out a gun, there's 10 more getting pulled back at you, buddy.
Yep.
Good luck.
Suicide.
But criminals are going to take part in soft targets. They're going to go after soft targets. They know they're unarmed. They know they have no way to defend themselves. And then Seth Rogen, of all people, that fat moron. Jeez. When cars are getting jacked and shit in LA and stuff, he's like, well, you shouldn't put stuff in your car. Your car isn't you. Bro, you want to talk about like a rich elite preaching to people that need that car to get to work, and then somebody breaks in. Now you got to pay for windows, and they probably can't afford that. And you want to sit there and talk about how they probably needed what was in your car. You should have just given it, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, how many
you rich Hollywood
criminals do you
elites
have
are
living
so
in your house?
goddamn out of the reality. You have no you liberals want to listen to this?
Guy's probably a pedophile.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
Fucking morons. And then he makes a video that tanks, and then he blames it on white supremacy. He's like, I made so many white supremacists mad in my most recent video. Bro, Democrats are dragging you on Twitter. You don't get to deflect to white supremacy when you make a shit movie, Rogan. Bro, like, seriously, stop fucking breathing. You're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. You're degenerate. You're a drain in our society. You idiot. Ooh, smoke weed. And I say fuck a lot. Fucking dipshit. Legitimately has the audacity to come out there and tell people if they have their cars broken into and shit is robbed, the person that did it probably needed it. The car isn't you. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
What a fucking moron. And these liberals eat this shit up. And you don't even realize it is the rich elites that are guarded by gated communities and guns that are telling you don't need that. How do you still listen to these morons? And all Republicans are saying, or at least for my kind of people, is like, you should be armed. You should have the right to put a bullet in the... There was another thing. There was a carjacking. I forget where it was, whatever city. And a woman was injured. And the police shoot the carjacker. He's trying to drive off after he saw, I think it was in Portland. He's like, oh my God, the cops are murdered. Bro, fucking kill that motherfucker. Cop's not worth dying, or a car is not. You shouldn't kill someone for robbing a car. Then please explain to me where lethal force should be utilized when the guy is presenting a lethal danger and he's going to potentially run somebody over. Please elaborate for me. Or you stop taking the side of criminals and you start enforcing the fucking law and putting bullets in these pieces of shit that will just as soon as put a bullet in you. You've gone way too... This is what happens when you have a society that goes way too soft on criminals. That's where we need police reform. We do need prison reform, but not to the point of being soft on crime. Mm-hmm. We need to reevaluate these drug things that we're looking at. But it doesn't mean stop treating criminals like they're fucking criminals when it comes to like rape, gun crime, shit like that.
I think a lot of the drug stuff should be...
I'll do away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marijuana, get the fuck out of here.
Except for maybe like fentanyl and heroin.
I don't know, man, because across the board, the government shouldn't have any right to tell you what to do with your body. I don't know if I agree with that, because here's the.
I understand. A little sticky.
It does get sticky. I understand that, but at the same token, though, we have it with alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know.
And for those that don't know, a new article we talked about yesterday, I think it was. I don't know if we talked about the podcast, but New Zealand is now banning smoking. If you were born after 2008, you can no longer purchase cigarettes. They're talking about doing that.
Is working out mandatory?
That's what happens when you have a government that thinks that it can make the best decision. Yeah, I love how this happens, though, because I was wondering what the leading killer of the Swiss are, and I'm pretty sure it's probably not smoking. But the government, if you think the government is there to look after you you are sadly mistaken, and it should never be viewed in that context. Never. You are a grown-ass adult. You make decisions for yourself. Governor Chris Christie, Republican out of New York, accuses Trump of giving him COVID during the debate. He's like, oh, it's guaranteed. You fat fuck. Stop sitting there whining about your health when you eat so much. You're a glutton.
I know.
You are disgusting. You are disgustingly fat. And you want to sit there and croak about your fucking health.
Guy probably eats sticks of butter.
Like, shut the fuck up, you hypocrite. All you fat people out there that do it to yourselves, not through medication. No, I'm talking about, the medication stuff is like a minor percentile of our population of 350 million. You want to sit there and you want to just cry about your health as you sit there and you just jam shit down your fucking cocksucker every fucking day. Stay away from me without a mask while I eat my cheeseburger. Shut the fuck up. You only give a fuck about your health when somebody else could possibly jeopardize it. And then again, you got a 99% chance of surviving unless you're obese. But the government's not doing shit about attacking unhealthy eating habits. They're not trying to restrict fast food restaurants. No, let's go somewhere else with it. Let's attack things that have absolutely nothing. Let's close the gyms. Close the gym. Get the fuck out of here. Yep. Fucking this is what happened. It's the same in the military. When you have higher ups, they always fuck it up. Leave it to the local jurisdictions to handle. Let the community decide. Christ almighty, we need some common sense back in this country. These people are so fucking unhinged.
Did you see Fauci talking about the government? Well, if people don't want to get vaccinated, then the government's going to have to step in.
Oh, Fauci can fucking eat a bullet.
I'm telling you.
Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him.
Nobody voted for that guy.
No. Absolutely not. The fact that he's still employed is ridiculous. Biden needs to get rid of him. Biden won't, though.
Trump should have got rid of him.
Trump should have. But like I said before, though, if Fauci falls, the entire narrative falls with it. And this is a worldwide narrative at this point. This isn't America. If, like, Fauci is the leading face for the world now.
He could be the Antichrist.
I think he should be on the list. He should be on.
He is on the list.
So let's talk about denial.
Quickly going up the ranks.
These tyrants are fucking just out of hand, man. So let's talk about denial here. Photos. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. Oh, by the way, I saw this article. I posted on my Instagram. Will Wheaton. If you don't know who Will Wheaton is, Will Wheaton. He's big in the nerd community. He was Wesley on Star Trek for Next Generation. He was Wesley Crusher. He did a decent job. But Will Wheaton is apparently offended that Dave Chappelle attended some kind of fucking awards or comedy special, whatever, and calls him a fucking bigot. Will Wheaton, of all people, wants to go after Dave. Bro, you are such a fucking has-been. Like, what? Like, wow. And I love the fact that Chappelle just doesn't give a fuck. No. I love the fact that Chappelle does not give a fuck about what some white liberal has to say about him. He's a big... Bro, shut the fuck up, you fat degenerate. Just a fucking clown. Anyway, Alec Baldwin celebrated... This is how beautiful this is, ladies and gentlemen. And we've covered this in previous podcasts. I proved to you how he is responsible for the murdering of the cinematographer and the wounding of the director, Helena Hutchinson's. He's guilty. He's fucking guilty. Photos of Alec Baldwin celebrated at Human Rights Gala featuring Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, weeks after death of woman on set. Oh, you gotta love you Democrats. You gotta love this. This dude legitimately, out of ignorance, murders someone, and you praise this guy? He's at a human rights celebration? What?
A joke.
This is how stupid your movement is. Hollywood actor Alec Baldwin hosted an annual gala for Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Center on Thursday evening, featuring Vice President Kamala Harris as keynote speaker just weeks after the death of a woman on the set of his movie Rust. Baldwin, 63, made his first formal public appearance since fatally shooting cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza when a prop gun, it's not a prop gun, it was a gun, went off and discharged. He didn't discharge. He fired it.
Are we going to hear from Joel Souza?
He ain't touching that one with a brick stick, bro. But also, so the article continues. It does get better. Baldwin said he cocked the gun but did not pull the trigger. You still cocked the gun. And, dude, oh, my God. Like, I'm looking at this from, like, a prosecutor stance or, like, a defense attorney stance. Like, why did you do that interview? Like, do not say, like, here, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a rule here. Here's a rule. If you don't know how to deal with the cops, here's the rule. Shut your fucking mouth and don't say a word without a lawyer. You don't have to. If the cop is asking you a question, you don't have to answer. I want an attorney. That's all you have to do. Baldwin putting himself in this position is a stupid move. I mean, I'm glad he's doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad. Like, do it, bro. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Like, keep going. Absolutely. Talk. You're talking yourself into a conviction, and I hope it happens. But when you're dealing with the police and something like this, you don't say a word. Not a peep. You talk to your lawyer. They know the rules. This guy is a moron. So, Baldwin made his first formal public appearance since fail. Okay, he says he cocked the gun but did not pull the trigger. He also talked about and discussed that in that scene he was filming, did not call for the gun to even go off. Why are you cocking it?
I thought the initial reporting were that he was joking around.
That was testimony. But they said that was proven. Whatever.
It was proven.
Well, I don't know. They said it was. Some say that's if there's a case, this will come out.
Yeah.
And I think, and then ladies and gentlemen, don't take this as solid. But I was DM somebody from that area, and they said they are going to be pressing charges. We'll see. I don't know. It could have been a rant. I don't fucking know. But I looked at the guy's profile. He's legit. So we'll see. I hope they do. They should. But.
Oh, these pictures look like he's having a good time.
Oh, he's having just a grand old time. Look at this piece of shit.
Stacey Abrams.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these fucking these Democrats over there just praising this white liberal. Oh, my God. Though he has not yet been charged with any crimes, Baldwin is already facing multiple lawsuits over the fatal shooting and could yet face prosecution. I really think they're going to prosecute. I do. I think Santa Fe should you've got to prosecute, bro. This guy murdered a woman. Even though unintentionally, you should still prosecute.
And shot another person.
Well, I mean, I think it was one round. I could be wrong. From my understanding, it was a through and through, and it basically went out and hit him. I don't know.
God.
The point still stands. Again, let's just do Cliff Notes version. Alec Baldwin, when I pick up this phone, whatever I do with said phone, maybe this is Josh's phone, whenever I pick up this phone, I'm responsible for whatever I do with it. If I crank call people, if I do something illegal with it, that ain't Josh's fault. That's my fault. So the blaming the armorer for not inspecting the ammunition is bullshit. I picked up this phone. Whatever I do with it is my responsibility. If I don't inspect the ammunition in my gun, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't probably be carrying a gun. But still, point still stands. You're responsible. Any court of law will tell you that. Any court, any lawyer will tell you that. Now, they'll play the defense to try and get you out of it. But you get where I'm going with that. So, however, on Thursday, he was lauded by a star-studded rostrum as a champion of human rights. You literally just murdered somebody, bro. This is how stupid you Democrats are. This is how stupid Kamala Harris is. This is how stupid Stacey Abrams are. This is how stupid Democrats are. This guy took someone's human life away, and you're praising him for being for human rights? I mean, I do have to ask in all sincerity, are you retarded? Because I think you are. I legitimately think you are. You cannot tell me that this doesn't make any sense, or that it doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense. Alec Baldwin, Master of Ceremonies of the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights 2021 Ripple of Hope Gala. Let's listen to what this fucking douchebag has to say.
Please welcome to the stage Alec Baldwin. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for all coming out tonight. It's great to be together in person. It's great to be together in person. My wife and I have 6 kids, anything to get out of the house for 30 minutes. Bobby Kennedy urged us to make
kill somebody to get out of the house, yeah.
The life of the world. Tonight we're here to remember his life and work. We will celebrate these extraordinary honorees and recommit ourselves to what Bobby said when he announced his presidential bid, quote, peace, justice, and compassion for those who suffer.
That's funny. Peace, justice, and compassion. This douchebag of all people wants... Again, ladies and gentlemen, these are liberals. These are liberals. They do not live in the same reality that you and I do.
He said, look, I didn't prepare a speech or anything. I'm just shooting off the hip.
Oh, my God. I see what you did there. I see what you did. That was good.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are liberals. They do not live in reality. They do not apply common sense. This is the generation, these are the people that did not believe in spanking their children, being rough with their children in regards to getting them ready for real life. Instead, they feel like they should change the world to live in a sugar-coated candy land that does not exist. This is who they are. This is what they do. They are ruining this country. The DNC should be done away with. These people are mentally unhinged. Liberalism, true liberal, like progressive liberalism, is a psychological disorder. I truly feel it is. You do not live in reality. There are only men and there are only women. That's it. There is no fucking 27, 38, whatever made up genders. No, it doesn't exist. You're just attention seeking is all it is. That's all it is. Go after these people. Speak your fucking mind. I still respect your right to do whatever the fuck you want with it, but also utilize my First Amendment right to speak out that you are fucking insane. You are insane. Reject progressivism. Embrace, I want to say, modern traditionalism. I think the podcast on Monday, I'll go into this because I want to bring up a lot of things that are wrong with this country and where we've gone wrong as a society and start acknowledging certain facts about men and women that progressives do not want you to see and they do not want you to acknowledge. That's going to come Monday. And it's going to be a very good talk, a very good discussion. I want to talk about the differences between men and women and address toxic masculinity from good masculinity, toxic femininity from good femininity, why men and women are needed in the household, why the nuclear family should not be viewed as a rebellious thing. It's needed. Our society is going down the same road as Rome. We are going to fall. We will fall. We've got to pull back from this insanity that we are pushing into. All right. That does it for us here at the Shell Shock HQ studio. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this episode is brought to you by shellshockcbd.com. If you're having trouble sleeping, if you just need help with relaxing, with anxiety, with stress, we've got you covered. Check us out at shellshockcbd.com. Use code Burke to get 10% off. We got a holiday sale coming up for New Year's. We'll be knocking a lot of money off, our last big blowout sale of the year. You're going to get access to that, but only if you sign up for the SMS campaign list, which, let me get you the link to that real quick. But we've got it coming soon. We've had some new products. We're launching the new jackets we're about to do. We got some new shirts. We have the new pet CBD liquid, the salmon flavored.
Yeah,
we have the teas. All this stuff.
The vapes.
Yeah.
We're releasing those on Monday.
100%.
So instead of the disposable vapes, we're doing the carts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we're also selling the battery that goes with it. So
we got a lot of stuff coming out, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of great stuff coming out. So you gotta love this. Oh look, we got some people in the Twitch chat trying to promote like LGBT, all like support trans rights. You really want to get into this? Like, what rights don't you have?
Yeah. Tell me.
Please tell me. What rights don't you have?
Can you not vote?
Yeah. Are you not allowed to chop your dick off? You just don't like the fact that I don't accept it. That's the reason you don't like it, right? Here's the thing. You're not going to stop me. You'll never stop me. You'll never stop the rest of us for believing that our beliefs are rooted in reality where yours are not. Sorry. There's only men and women. You don't get to chop your dick off and all this and then call your... No, it's not the truth. You don't like it? Tough. I'll still talk to you. I'll still let you into my house. But don't you dare sit there and demand that I call you a woman. No, absolutely doesn't work that way. So... these people are fucking disgusting. Just disgusting human beings. You got to love that. So, anyway, appreciate the love and support. Again, shellshockcbd.com. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's all the freaking, like... you got to love all the trolls in the chat. I love it. Hey, thanks for boosting my algorithm as well. Like, we just jumped up in viewers. Gets more exposure. Appreciate that. Oh, by the way, we're also on Facebook and YouTube. You should go over there as well. It's uploaded to Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and even if Twitch ever shuts me down, I'll still keep going. We'll still upload the podcast. You won't stop us. It ain't going to happen. We have new platforms coming out left and right. The Trump one's about to come out. We'll go on that one. You will not stop us. Tough. I know you don't like hearing it. I know you don't like hearing a diversity of opinion. I know that triggers you. I know it just makes you just melt down. Like, oh my God, I can't handle actual facts based in reality. You're never going to stop us, and you're never going to silence us. Please